Good morning. Well, I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing here with the simulator and making these little YouTubes. So it's just and I first of all I have to have fun. And thinking back, I love this aircraft and the technology today with the Garmin and using the satellites for uh, GPS is just phenomenal. We really were dead reckoning. Although we had a thing called the Salinas, like Salinas VOR. I had to sneak up on that. I had to say Salinas first. Salinas VOR is probably the closest Omni, and I think the word was Omnigator. And V is very high frequency. O, Omnigator. R is range, and you get these circles that you could navigate using them, and they were all over back in the 50s. And you had a little radio, a super homer it was called, and you could communicate with it, and you could use the VOR. And you probably could make an instrument approach, but minimums for that type of deal. You didn't have a glide slope, so you probably could go down and maybe have 1,000. You had to have at least 1,000-foot ceiling. Maybe 800 feet would have been minimums for that machine. Now, when I was flying the mail, I didn't have a GPS when I was flying the mail in the 60s, 68, 69, and but I did have a glide slope and used the ILS going in and out of Eureka and San Francisco. So I was flying San Francisco to Eureka 6 nights a week. Eureka was up the coast here. There's Ukiah, Fort Bragg, Leggett, and going up to Eureka. And I would end up landing up here at McKinleyville, had the ILS. And you'd fly down from this little field up here in case this was a blanket of fog, which in the summertime, it's a solid blanket of fog. So if you're on top and you don't have an instrument rating, you have to land up here on the top of the mountain and call somebody to come up and get you. Nealand, that was called Nealand, Knealand, something like that. So you'd land up there on top. So this is a story about being on top. I was working on getting my getting a lot of things, building my flying time and building my education, so I would qualify to get on the airlines. And I had I had a flying club where we were using the normal fixed base operator. We were using Cherokees, and we'd use ways to raise money so you could get flight lessons. And I would give flight lessons to anybody in the club free. Back then, you'd get, I think, about $6 an hour for flight lessons. I was a flight instructor, so I decided we'd go up to Oakland. Their new terminal was up there in the late '60s. They probably built it like '65. Here we'll zoom in on Oakland here, and you'll see this is Alameda has been closed. Here's the new runway and the new terminal. The old terminal was over on this side. Probably Amelia Earhart flew out of this airport. Flying Tigers might have been based there. The Air Freight, not the original freighting group that flew for Chenault over in China. Flying P-40s, I think they were called a P-40, a tailwheel, a single engine fighter, and anyway. So we flew up, landed at Oakland, probably on the old airport here, and we got a shuttle that took us over, and we went up in the tower and talked to them. And I had my students, and and then when we went to fly back, we were flying down here and there was overcast. So we fly down the Bay Area, all of this elevation. You're in kind of a valley going down here. And the elevation, the field here, South County Airport, is probably 200-300 feet off the ground. So as long as you're flying and you can see the traffic at night, we're going back at night, and you can see the dark hills. You can't actually see the hills unless there's a building with a light on. Up on the hills, it's pretty pitch black. So we got down here and we had this overcast, so we couldn't get up to get over back to get to Monterey. And I did a 360 in this valley, probably kind of dangerous, but I had lights under me. And in making the 360, I out of the corner of my eye, I caught the glow of Watsonville under the overcast, and there's a little saddle probably right in here in the mountains, a low point. I forget, Hetch Hetchy Pass, something like that it's called, I forget. And anyway, I could see through to the other side, so I came around and I flew through to the other side, staying under the overcast. And it's, there could be a high tension line going across. You'd never see that. There'd probably be lights on it, but I didn't see any lights of objects. You kind of could see cars under you, but I think I was under 1,000 feet when I went across here. I don't know what the minimum of this pass is, but possibly you can squeeze through here at 1,000 feet at night. Not recommended. And I decided then I needed to get an instrument rating. So I started working on that back at Monterey. So today we're going to do that flight, and we're going to depart South County Airport. We need to runway 32. We really want to go the other direction, to the south, a little bit southeast, and then we'll turn west and we'll put in Monterey. And we could do it at night, but we don't have to, because we're going to be up. We put a little weather. Probably we'll put it like there's a storm, and we're going to put here on runway 10, right? And arrival, and then we put in here that we're going to be a low altitude airway IFR. That's going to go down. It shows E16. I don't know where E16 power. So I can see stars, so we aren't going to hit the overcast, but we will climb to 5,000 feet. Okay, gear up, and this, with it being real light, we can pull the flaps up. We can turn the autopilot on, see if it continues to go to the right. Seems to be working. And we'll go back up to the north. Watch how we do. I forget, we're going up to 3,000. It is climbing more than I want, so I got to look over here to the rate of climb. And this probably came off. 1,600, and got a little bit come back on the power there, so we aren't over torquing. And being that we're so still over torquing, coming back here, and we have it on nav, and it's not locking on. It's being ornery. Oh, the autopilot isn't on. There's the autopilot's on now. So for some reason, when I clicked I clicked the main wheel. I haven't flown the instruments for a while. So I didn't have, here's the autopilot on, and I have a button on the wheel. I think I pushed the wrong button. There it's off, there it's back on again. But see, it wasn't tracking. So you start looking for what's going on. You gotta fly the airplane. So that's the reason it wasn't climbing properly. It's at 3,000 feet. Let's see if that's what they want us to do, is fly it to 3,000 feet. There's 3,000 feet. Oakland Center on 1274. Contact code.
Oakland Center, Daughter 527 Sierra Bravo, 3,000 feet.
And 3,000 feet.
527 Sierra Bravo, Oakland Center, altimeter 29.9 radar contact, continue.
So you can look
7 Sierra
here.
Bravo, climb and maintain 3,600 feet.
3,600. Okay. So I'll tell her okay on that. 3,600 feet. So that makes sure that I'm clear of the hills. I'm flying. You can see the hills down on this little job right here. You can see I'm going over the hills, the high point right there. So I got to get up to 3,600. 6. And at vertical speed, I got to tell it to climb, and I'll tell it to climb at 1,300 feet a minute. That'll be good. There we go. And you can see what that you just fly through, and you see the lights easily. And here's where we're going down here at Monterey. We're going to go out to that intersection there, so we can make an approach. We got our flaps up. We got our gear up. We're cruising along at 218. Let's see if we have any lights, warning lights going on here. No, we got everything fine. We could go over here and turn that off. The bird deflector, ice deflector, and so forth. So we're going over Watsonville right now. There's an airport right there that
Good day.
So he told me to switch frequencies. So right there at Watsonville Airport is where I had my first students when I got my flight instructor's rating. So I was instructing here on the weekends with my first students. And now we're still, so we have to stop talking and answer the controller. So we're maintain, let's see, cleared the airport, maintain 3,000. Yeah, so we've got to drop down to 3,000.
Sierra Bravo. Goodbye.
So we got to go down to 3,000 feet. We'll go up here and get that, bring us back down to 3,000. Tell the vertical speed, go down. We can go down at about 800 feet a minute. We'll be fine.
NorCal approach, Daughter 527 Sierra Bravo, 3,500 feet.
Daughter 527 Sierra Bravo, NorCal approach altimeter 29.9, radar contact, continue.
So when
Daughter 7 Sierra Bravo, you are 18 miles north. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect RNAV runway 10 right approach via Sierra November Sierra transition.
So right
to Sierra November Sierra.
See, they're telling me to go to Salinas. That's their normal route. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel IFR. We'll stay at 3,000, and I've made approaches there forever. But they want me to go to Salinas. Normally I would do that if I were on an instrument flight plan, and I still needed an instrument approach. I would stay there. But I'm just going to go off. I'm going to cancel. I could first have to acknowledge.
Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect RNAV runway 10 right approach via Sierra November Sierra transition. Clear to Sierra November Sierra Daughter 7 Sierra Bravo.
See, maybe they're not going to make me change my approach. Maybe they'll let me go. See, they want me to go Sierra November Sierra clear to. I don't think they're going to let me go direct Z-bed here, intersection, which is out off here. Now, the thing that was interesting, when I was back then, I was in a Cherokee 6. We had 6 people on board, and when we got over, we're at Watsonville. We were still right here. We were still under the overcast. We could see the lights around the bay, and we could look down to Monterey. But it was interesting. All of a sudden, I could see stars like we could see today, and it was perfectly clear over here. And if I was
Delta 7 Sierra Bravo, you are 600 feet below your assigned altitude.
see, they gave me 3,000.
3,600 feet altimeter, 29er decimal.
That's all right.
2.
That's okay. That's okay. We'll do that. We'll go back up to 3,600. They're going to tell us to come back down real soon here. They're going to tell us to come back down real soon here. So we'll climb up to
Delta 7
3,600.
Sierra Bravo, did you hear my last transmission?
Yeah, I was working. You should acknowledge
Climb and
first.
maintain 3,600 feet, Delta 7 Sierra Bravo.
And so when we get close here, we can start slowing down. So I'll pull the power back to 50% or thereabouts. Let's see where we are here. We can look in here, and we're at 37% power setting. So our speed is coming down, which gives me a little more time. I don't know why it wiggled like that. What's going on here? So anyway, that's what it looked like at night. We're going to go ahead and come back in daylight, so because when I put this upload to YouTube, it's too dark. You can't see anything. But I think you could see the numbers inside. We don't have to look at this anymore, and we could put this in closer. So you see what's going on here, see whether they let us. And we need to be, at this point right here, we need to be at 1,800 feet. And that's down here on this down here. See, at Z-bed, we need to go to 2,800 feet. 2,800, and then down. And we'll see here at Minnock. Minnock is the outer marker, and that's at 1,700 feet. So we're first going to go to Z-bed. We're going to be, we got to go back up. And Z-bed, it says 2,880. So we'll wait and see, because I think they're going to make us do a right turn. And we need to slow down to approach speed. So let's get it down to 100. This is good. We can just watch here. If you wanted to look outside, it would look like that. There's the airport where we're going. It's right over there. The outer marker is right here at Silmar. Let's see what they do with us here. And we'll slow down some more. We can be down. We put the gear down and the flaps down a notch. And what are they going to do with us? Normally, with this angle, they'd make you do a right turn and go out and make a little racetrack out here. See, there's the final approach. They're bringing us in, so we need to drop down to 1,700 feet. 1,700. Yep, I just
Delta
missed
7
it.
Sierra Bravo, you are 9 miles west of Monterey. Contact Monterey Tower on 118 decimal for when inbound on the approach.
I'll drop this at about 1,500 feet a minute. Full flap. And we got to answer him. So we need a...
Tower on 118.4, Delta 7 Sierra Bravo.
So let's see where we are here. Okay, it looks pretty good. I don't know whether we... I think we made it just turned left, and it was just off course. So it's searching around. 100 miles an hour is fine, and we need to drop down a little faster. So we'll put the speed down at 2,500 feet a minute, and we're going to hit approach. The approach looks like it's on. There's the approach is on now, and it probably is holding on the see the green right there. So it's holding the glide slope, and we don't need any of this stuff in here. And you see the GS, all this green is good, and we just got to make sure we don't get under 85 is a good speed. And we drop back a little bit. Yeah, 86, 85, and we're on final approach. We can hit that button, which I hit to turn the autopilot on before. We're looking down at Spanish Bay, right down here. 17-mile drive starts, and right in here there's a swimming pool down here, and there's a little fenced-in area where I used to see the outer marker. We don't use an outer marker anymore, but this is a state-owned property. Here's a swimming pool right there, but we're lined up with the runway right now. we're on the glide slope. See here, it's all green. That's good. And we're at 90. 90 is a good approach speed. So, and back in those days, I didn't have an autopilot, so I would have, once I got my instrument rating, you never used an autopilot when you got your instrument rating. I just love this Garmin GPS and all that is all new to me. I never flew with this stuff, and it is amazing stuff. Here we go. Can move this up. We don't have to look at the autopilot. All we need to know is we got it all green. We do have to maintain our speed. The newer models of the TBM have an auto throttle, so you can also up here set your final approach speed at 90 knots, and it will maintain the miles. But I have to physically change the knots. So we'll go outside and look at it from outside. We'll look over here at Monterey, and when we fly down here, we fly right over. This lake is close to my house. The little subdivision I live in, which was one of the first subdivisions in Monterey when they built the hotel. This was called Del Monte. It wasn't Del Monte Park. Oh, it's Grove. It's something Grove. Can't think of that. 87 is good. We got full flap. We got our gear down. Here we'll look at our flight here. How it looks.
500.
This is a Naval Postgraduate School now. It used to be the hotel. The hotel for called the Old Del Monte Hotel. Before Pebble Beach, that was there. In the 1880s, that was built. There's a little golf course I used to play at right there. It used to be called the Navy course. We're doing fine. We're right at 87. We'll go back inside if you like. See what it looks like in there. And as we get down here, you turn, probably at this point you turn off the autopilot. I'll turn it off when we get down here. We bring the power back because we're gonna. There's a. Oh, I forgot to call the tower. We already hit the ground, and it likes to go off to the right. I mean left, for some reason. Oop. So we didn't get the reversers on. Normally I can see when I'm outside, you can see if the reversers are on here. And we'll put the flaps up, put the brakes on here, make a little left turn. So normally between the outer marker, just as soon as you get on that final approach towards the glide slope, you call Monterey Tower, and that's probably right here on the. And we'll just we'll follow the bus. The bus usually wouldn't be out here on the taxiway. So we'll go here, and it'll say Monterey Ground. Okay. So they switched us over to Monterey Ground, taxi to parking.
Monterey Ground, Daher 527 Sierra Bravo, taxi to parking.
Daher 527 Sierra Bravo, taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway Kilo Bravo.
Normally we wouldn't have buses out here. You just slip right over in here.
Daher 7 Sierra Bravo, did you copy?
Yeah. Another TBM right there. There we go. Normally you wouldn't be right here by a taxi light.
Bravo, did you copy?
Okay.
Taxiing to general
So you can see I've already gotten rusty at the game, and I've been watching YouTubes on how to run the autopilot and everything, and this is way beyond me what these airplanes can do and what you can program in to them. You just sit back and you just monitor. Of course, airlines have had this for years, but it's just fantastic. See, you got to use checklists when you're flying, and that you should have been on. This is the brake. It's flashing right there. That says brake. Probably if I could closed in on it. Yeah, park brake. So anyway, there you are. Somehow I made it. They didn't yell at me for not going to Salinas, and we made it. And of course that night back in the 60s, with a load of people on, I took a chance, and that's called pilot error. You shouldn't be doing that. But that motivated me to get my instrument rating. Thanks for watching, and I'm still here today. I'm not flying real airplanes anymore. Yeah. And Oak Grove is the name of my little. See, my mind. It takes me a while to think of what I'm talking about. Coming up with words, and I Google a lot of stuff today. Fortunately, I can still fly this thing. So even though I haven't upgraded, I'm not going to get into the bugs that come along with the new program. I may upgrade to that at some point, but I'm not in any hurry to do that. And I'm going to go back to the good old days and fly modern airplanes as if we had them available back in the 60s. So there was a flight that I made, and it could have been the last flight I made back in the 60s, to staying under the overcast and sneaking through that saddle to Watsonville, and then I didn't talk to the kids that were with me that went up to the Oakland Tower. It was a successful trip, but not without taking a chance. And I said, I have to get my instrument rating. I got that, and my multi-engine rating when I got up to San Jose, going to San Jose State, instructed up there. I got my instrument rating, and then I started flying the mail out of Eureka and finished up college at Humboldt. Okay, there you go. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.